So I thought I would stop in and give you a little transplanting tips video to help you along in this process. So what you're going to need is your transplants, and then you'll also want a couple other tools. A hand rake might be helpful with the mulch, and then a small garden shovel to dig up the dirt. And then, hopefully you have already amended your beds with compost, fertilizer. We've already done that with our beds, so you won't see me adding any fertilizer into the holes. But if you have not done so, I would recommend putting in just a dash of some nitrogen fertilizer into your soil just to give the plants a little bit of a boost. They also have some in their pots with them, so they should be nice and happy whenever they're going into the ground. So the first thing that you'll want to do is rake back the mulch. I'm in our hardy annual bed, which is full of mulch, and normally we plant into landscape fabric, but this is our bed with mulch, so I thought that that would be probably a more realistic and similar situation to your garden bed. So we rake back our mulch, find our soil, and dig out a hole, and we want to dig a hole that is close to the size of the pot. So this is our Cosmo, and our soil is nice and moist in there so that we can easily pull it out. So if it's a little bit dry, I would recommend just watering it a little bit so that the soil will come out nice and easy. And so we dig our hole that is the same size as the pot, and once we do that, we're gonna kind of massage our pot a little bit and slide our little plant out and stick it into our hole. You want the soil level to at least be as high as where the soil was in the pot. You can bring it up to the first set of leaves if you want to, just to give your plant a little more stability. And then you fill back in the soil. I'm sure that most of you have planted things before, but sometimes it's nice to just get a little refresher about some of the proper ways to do it. And so we fill our soil in, and then one of the most important parts is to fill back in our mulch, because that is going to keep the weeding down for us. So you can see our little Cosmo is in there up to the first set of leaves. We have our mulch filled back in, and he's ready to grow now. If your soil's not very moist, I would recommend giving it a little bit of a drink after you put the plant into the soil. It doesn't have to make it muddy or anything, just enough to moisten the soil around it. And then your next step will be figuring out, the spacing for the next plant. So I have a globe amaranth that I'm going to put next to my Cosmo, and Cosmos need about 12 inches of space on all sides. So we'll want to space our next plant about 12 inches away, and repeat the same steps for this guy. So refer to your planting guide that I gave you. You should have gotten that in an email, and then also on this Facebook page. It's all saved here. If you want further growing instructions for some of the plants, feel free to look at those PDFs from Johnny's. They're really in-depth, and if you want to geek out about some of the fun flower stuff, those are great to look at. And yeah, feel free to ask me questions as we get into the growing season. As things come up, like the next thing will be pinching, basically cutting off the top 3 to 4 inches of our plant. And so I will give an update once we start the pinching phase, and weeding and pest management and different things like that. And again, we grow everything organically, so you're gonna see a lot of those kind of methods used here. And if you have questions before those videos pop on, then feel free to comment on the video or email me or post to the group. It's always nice if you post to the group, because then everyone can see the question and comment and see my answers. and it just helps everybody. So I hope that you enjoy getting your little plants into the ground. And yeah, have a happy Mother's Day, and I will talk to you all soon.